Hello everyone, welcome to my new video. So today we are going to do something very different. Till now I've been talking about different issues which are actually very practical in nature. Today what I am trying to do is we are going to talk about this issue which is not very practical but theoretical in nature. To describe with an example, for example, in Constitution, when you read the Indian Constitution, there are words of the law. For example, Article 14 has right to etc. Right? Article 17 is prohibition of untouchability, etc. But there's something called spirit of the Constitution that is not written out or that is not recorded as such. It is considered to be basic, truthful to the Constitution, and it's considered that it will be present no matter what changes occur to the wordings of the Constitution, right? So that's how political natures also work. There are three basic things: judiciary, law, and politics. These three things generally tend to influence each other. But when we distinguish these three into different genres, what happens is politics is very subjective and it is more circumstantial. Justice is also circumstantial, but it has a lot of theory in it. And law is law, it's the word, right? So today what we're going to talk about is we are going to talk about natural justice and the word of the law. Now, when you think about it, these two things are actually very complementary in nature but do stand apart. So, what do I mean by word of the law? So, word of the law is designed to secure freedom. Sorry, not freedom. Word of the law is designed to achieve equality and justice for a person, right? Depends on what type of the law it is. And the concept of natural justice is actually very wide and vague. The concept of natural justice is in basic, very basic, does it take into account the law? Yes, obviously. But at the same time, it also considers that sometimes maybe law may become a technical obstacle to justice. For example, in India, what happens is there are two types of courts, criminal and civil, right? Let's not talk about civil cases right now. Let's talk about criminal cases. What happens in criminal cases is there is conviction only when there is no doubt that the crime was committed. The judiciary runs on the principle that if there is a reasonable doubt or an iota of doubt that maybe the crime was not committed by a person, he won't be convicted. He will remain to be accused, he will remain to be called an accused, and he'll be tried until and unless every doubt has been resolved. It may take months, years for the justice to be done. There'll be different ways, there'll be different procedures, and those will keep on going because the basic principle of the judiciary is that the judiciary will never punish someone who is innocent. So it always tries to make sure that the person who is being punished is the one who is guilty. Because if there is even iota of doubt that he may be innocent, he won't be punished. Because in criminal cases, you punish. In civil cases, you try to bring back the nature to equal status. Right. So basically, state can order capital punishment. It can order to someone to be killed, but it cannot give life back to that person's dead body, right? So punishment is something which is not reversible. It's a one-way street. When it comes to natural justice, the things are pretty different. What happens in natural justice, it says that sometimes law requires a lot, and sometimes you have to do the justice for the betterment of the society. For example, let's take up the Nirbhaya case. The four accused have filed a curative petition, right? And they are supposed to be hanged on 22nd of January. The thing is, why did it take so long for those four accused who were accused of brutally creating such a hideous crime against such an innocent girl have still not been hanged, right? Thing was that if there was slightest of the possibility that there was something wrong or something unnoticed in that case or something which may have been different from what has been presented to the media, the court wanted to unravel that. That was the whole point of it. Till today, the curative petition is being heard because they want to make sure that the accused are the guilty. But When we talk about natural justice is more like the Hyderabad encounter case. The police killed those accused because it was the need of the time, it was the demand of the people. People knew they were guilty. So instead of going through the technicalities, holding them off, and being unsure if they'll be punished or not, you punish them for their crime. Now, these two concepts, as in such, uh, are complementary to each other as well. For example, laws are based on the natural justice principles, on the lines of the principles of natural justice. You try to create laws which are not very rigid, but at the same time not very flexible. They are rigid to a certain level and flexible to a certain level. They are technically to certain level, but not very technical, so that it doesn't harm the justice's way. Now, I have explained so much because I was coming down to this point of how the society needs to or wants to function. That's the thing. There are two epics of India, Mahabharata and Ramayana. Ramayana talks about the law, the word of the law. Lord Ram was the ideal person, right? The Maryada Purushottam Ram. He used to follow the word of the law to the single word, to the every alphabet. And that's how Ramayana was built. That law is not supposed to be broken. But in Mahabharata, on the contrary, laws were broken, deliberately broken, knowingly broken, to serve justice to those who are guilty. That is how the two epics present to us this case. The thing is, the society we live in is supposed to be a harmonious society. Live in harmony is to live in harmony with peace. And secondly, the society has to deal with cases in such a way that justice is served, law is upheld, but at the same time, justice is never delayed, because sometimes delayed justice is denied justice, right? So suppose if you focus a lot on the technicality of the law, the word of the law, at some point of time it does become very rigid. You can't deliver justice if you are too technical, if you're too very precise. But at the same time, if you're very vague in the and not concerned with the precision of the law and only on justice, then there may be sometimes that people may not be served justice, and justice may be served to the wrong people. For example, instead of convicting the guilty, you may convict the innocent. So this video is basically to define these two topics, and not define, to give a basic idea of these two topics and to throw it open to you people, that what do you think about it? Which is the better way, the natural justice or the rule of the law, and why? And if you think so, how would you want the society to deliver it to its citizens? One. Two, I was not going to make a video on this topic. I actually preferred a podcast, but that couldn't happen due to certain reasons. So this is going up as a video. Do like, do share, do subscribe. Tell me if you like the content of this video and how would you like me to evolve it. Also, which type of videos would you like to see on this channel? Considering I started off as a month series and month learning videos, and then got into certain topics, and now I'm trying to incorporate certain theories as well. So which type of videos you would prefer? That's being all. Keep watching. Stay tuned. Thank you.